All right, hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Mike Lindsley back here at Rosie's Corner. It is indeed Fish Friday. Pair it with the mac and cheese or that coleslaw and the French fries. And of course, you can grab Rosie's Corner on Grubhub. They'll even deliver it to you in the greater Central New York area. Come on down here. The pizza, the pasta, the hot and cold subs, the wings are delicious. I'm going to get a chicken parm sub to go. That's a terrific option as well. Here at Rosie's Corner, like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram. And of course, you will find out more about the daily ongoing situation here at Rosie's Corner. They've got all the drinks in the cooler. They have all the potato salads, mac salads. They've got your Pepsi products as well. So come on down here to Rosie's Corner, a proud sponsor of the ML Sports Platter. So there's been a lot of different things going on in terms of target dates and where we're at with this coronavirus thing and who's going to take the lead and all the rest. And I simply think that really when one league decides to do it, at that point, it's going to be just like the beginning of this whole thing. Remember when the NBA and Adam Silver, they kind of took the lead. Conference commissioners couldn't figure out if they wanted to cancel their basketball tournaments. We weren't sure about March Madness as a whole. We weren't sure about the PGA Tour, spring training in baseball. Rob Manfred wasn't really sure probably, and his higher-ups were not sure as well. And then all of a sudden, the NBA, you get Rudy Gobert and their whole situation, and snap of a finger, they're done. And that kind of was the lead league in terms of where everybody, was going to decide about the whole COVID-19 thing. And now here we are, depending on the state that you're in, we're in the 8th or 9th or even 10th week of quarantine and following a lot of the rules, wearing masks out to pick up our prescription drugs or going through drive-thrus, the whole thing. And I feel like now, even while they're talking about, the biodomes and they're talking about the one location, they're talking about Vegas versus Orlando. There's talks that maybe Major League Baseball will get into their specific home arenas, home stadiums, everything's being tossed out right now, and rightfully so, simply based upon the fact that we've never gone through something like this before. But I feel like no matter what happens, no matter if college football comes back somehow without students, which I still don't see, and Ohio State says, well, we're just going to put fans in our stadium socially distanced, 25,000 to 50,000 will be allowed throughout the season, which still leaves us about 35, 40, 50,000 people short of our capacity. There's no way that social distancing will be followed, because once Ohio State scores a touchdown, 2-3 seats down the road, those Ohio State fans are going to slam fives with each other and hug each other. It's going to be unavoidable, in my opinion. So while the fan thing is going to be unavoidable, while all of the rules will not take place, while you won't be able to police players outside of their hotel in non-quarantine situations, maybe it won't matter at all, because once one league decides to just completely say, we're all in, we have the testing in place, when somebody gets it, here's what we're going to do, here's what's going to happen, we're in. Once a league does that, everybody else is going to follow suit, I think. I think the NBA, when you go back weeks now, they started the ball rolling as far as shutting things down. I think they could be the league that brings everything back. Maybe it actually is the NHL and Gary Bettman this time around. Maybe this league is one in which, they say, hey, look, we're going to go all in with no fans. Players are going to be tested on the way in, post-game, pre-game, post-game, during game, whatever the case may be. We're going to have several medical officials around. We're going to have the sanitizers. Our team staff members are just going to be there to sanitize the doorknobs and all the rest in between periods. Maybe the NHL will be the one that will be the lead dog, and then the NBA, a team that runs a very similar playoff structure in terms of series of games, how long it is, the 82-game regular season and all the rest. Maybe it's the NHL this time around. Major League Baseball, we've already missed the entire months of April and May at this particular point. Major League Baseball, in my opinion, there's still no rush if you're Rob Manfred. I would sit back if I'm Rob Manfred. I'm in no hurry. I don't even need to play until after the All-Star game. Hell, maybe I open things up with a July 4th soft opening, although it will be loud, Stars and Stripes forever, and burgers and baseball and apple pie and beer and all the rest. Maybe you play a spring training in June for a week or two, you start to, get a few things under your belt and how you're going to do this. Maybe, you add layers of medical ideas and more conference calls, and the spring training games can kind of be the platform for you to launch your regular season. You play July 4th as your opening day. You play a week of the season, a week and a half of the season, delay the All-Star game this time instead of the Midsummer Classic. You play a little bit later in July at Dodger Stadium. That gives guys a chance to kind of, go back, recoup their bodies a little bit, maybe go quarantine for another 12, 14 days, whatever the case may be, and then you come back and you play your August, September, late into maybe mid-October, late in the season, a couple weeks later than normal, and then from there, you have your postseason and all as well. So, in the NFL, again, they're in no hurry as well. I know that eventually you have to make a decision based on leagues, based on whether it's college, pro, etc. There's so many layers to this and so many unknowns to this, but eventually you have to make a decision because time will run into time. Think about it. I'm recording this video here on the Friday of Memorial Day weekend. We're only about a week and change away from the month of June, and therefore we would be 2 weeks away from the NBA Finals. Well, how far down do you go? How late do you go to resume your season to collide into everything that goes on in the offseason and then the start of next season? And that's another area where I think the NHL and NBA have just a tremendous advantage. Why would you ever worry about next season and when to start if you are dead set on finishing this season and crowning a champion and having the playoffs? To me, Adam Silver in the NBA, they could go as late as July or even early August in terms of playing the rest of the regular season if they want to do that, or just jumping right into the postseason where teams were slotted 1 to 8 in both the East and the West. You could then have that go into September, take your month or two off, have your little bit of preseason, and don't start the NBA until Christmas Day and just shorten up next year's schedule by 10 to 15 games. So there's going to be ways around this thing. Obviously, player safety is first. There's going to be a lot of people who want to play, some who don't want to play. You're going to run into things contractually. You're going to run into things with a union in terms of the baseball players. You're going to run into all sorts of things on college campuses with athletic directors, people on staff. Are students there? Are they not there? How do you play sports if students aren't there? Now there's a lot of college players who are like, screw you, I'm not playing. I'd be going to the NFL after this year anyway. Why am I going to risk any kind of health situation for my draft status? And also the fact that you guys don't pay us as collegiate players. And of course, that's a whole other conversation for another day. You can use your name for likeness and all the rest to make money. But as far as making a little bit of money being paid while you're there making millions for the university and college, players could say, screw that, I'm just not going to do it. So however the unknowns go, however many layers that are out there, the bottom line is I think it's going to be one league, that first league, and then the floodgates are going to open. NBA and Adam Silver decide, poof, here's our day. We're going forward no matter what. We're going to have the testing. We're going to have medical people. Somebody gets COVID, we're going to do this. If 5 or 10 people get it, we're going to do this. If 3-star players, we're going to do this. If they do it and they go and they're not going to look back, because, right, you don't want to go ahead and go forward and then just pull back and say, we made mistakes. No. These commissioners are going to do it and go forward with it. They're going to make the necessary precautions available in terms of what to do should certain things arise. And I think right when that one leak happens, all the floodgates will open for everybody else. Mike Lindsley here with you, 9 Minutes with Me, IGTV, Facebook, and YouTube. Come on down to Rosie's Corner, Theme Food Day. It's Friday, and that means it's fish with your mac and cheese or your French fries and coleslaw. And, of course, come on down for the pizza, wings, and all the rest as well. Good job by the gang here, Jason, Jody, and crew. Rosie's Corner, a proud sponsor of the ML Sports Platter on Facebook. Follow them on Instagram as well. Pizza, wings, pasta, hot and cold subs, and more on Fish Friday today. As I always tell you, whenever they get back, enjoy the games.